It's no secret that the United States is not happy with the developments in Venezuela. Washington and Caracas have been at odds for a while now. But the recent comments by U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson have shed more light on Washington's disruptive policy towards Venezuela. Just ahead of touring a group of Latin American countries, Tillerson hinted at the idea of a military coup against the government of President Nicolas Maduro. In the history of Venezuela and South American countries, it is oftentimes that the military is the agent of change when things are so bad and the leadership can no longer serve the people. Whether that will be the case here or not, I do not know.
I think it's really disgraceful that Rex Tillerson, the U.S. Secretary of State, is openly talking about regime change in Venezuela. Of course, he is very careful with his words, but at the beginning of his statement, he said that the army has been an agent of change in South America.
Tillerson claimed the U.S. is not seeking regime change in Venezuela, but the comments speak volumes.
The corrupt and hostile regime of Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela clings to a false dream and antiquated vision for the region that has already failed its citizens.
He also praised recent EU and Canadian sanctions against senior Venezuelan officials, accusing the officials of starving their own people.
They're trying to give a signal to the opposition in Venezuela. They're trying to give a signal to some of the disgruntled elements in the Venezuelan army that if we carry out a coup, they have the American backing. And this is a very dangerous situation.
Venezuela is set to hold early elections at the end of April 2018. The order for fresh elections was issued by the Constituent Assembly. The body was elected back in 2017, but the opposition boycotted the vote, denouncing it as unconstitutional. The opposition accuses President Maduro of using the Constituent Assembly to bypass the National Assembly. The opposition also says the president has been trying to maximize his powers and cling on to them. The United States has always considered Latin America as its own backyard. The policy goes back to 1823 when James Monroe was the President of the United States.
And in that kind of situation, when U.S. intervenes in this blatant and brazen way, in my opinion, is very, very irresponsible.
According to the Monroe Doctrine, any foreign intervention in the politics of the Americas is a potentially hostile act against the United States. That means Latin America is Washington's backyard.
Because if you look at the history of South America, there have been a series of military coups starting from Brazil to Uruguay to Argentina to Chile, all over the continent, and brutal dictatorships all set up with the open support and help of the United States in the 1960s till just 2 decades ago.
The occupation of Nicaragua and Haiti in the first 2 decades of the 20th century, the CIA operation in Guatemala in 1953, the Bay of Pigs invasion of Cuba in 1961, the coup against Chilean President Salvador Allende in 1973, and the invasion of Grenada in 1983 are just some of them. The United States also orchestrated a failed coup attempt against Venezuela's former president, Hugo Chavez, in 2002.
So this is a typical American tactics of regime change operation using the issue of corruption and sanctions in a very, very dangerous way.
Do Tillerson's comments smell of another coup attempt in the Latin American country?